Hey, good morning, cyber traders. Welcome on back here this Friday, November 21st. Great to have all of our students and members alike. First and foremost, inside our live trading room, we got Grant, Margaret, Andrea, Joe. Great to see Joe once again. Great to have Michael. We got Brian, Jeff. We got Dave, Roberto, Barbara, Leda, as always. We got Nabil, Ray. Full house here. Great to have all of us out here directly inside our live trading floor. But otherwise, if you're on social media, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, etc., I don't know what happened this morning. What happened? The gerbil got stuck in the webcam this morning. No webcam this morning, but down below on the lower left, make sure to hit the follow or subscribe button down below. At CyberTradingU is just our YouTube and X handles. We're also on Facebook and Telegram and LinkedIn and TikTok, all that good stuff there. We don't dance for you on TikTok, but we teach you how to trade the big money out there. So at least for right now, the SMCI is on my screen. It was a trade from yesterday. This was a stock that we shorted yesterday. We did really well on going down. We ended up trading the inverse also, which is SMCZ. This thing moving up pretty nicely. Remember, you don't need to just short the common. You could also trade this ETF. It goes inverse as the stock drops off. Now, that's the case with a lot of these. So actually just going back across the whole market from yesterday into this morning, SPY ended up topping off pretty well right around the resistance that we were talking about inside our live trading room. But it took a little bit. We know reversal time's around 10:30, so it took around until 10:30, 10:45, and then from there things fell off. But that fall off was expected. We had a good feel that we would see rejection from resistance. Now, I thought that we would at least not fall off as much. That's not a bad thing. We were short. We were focused on those inverse trades. But we left money on the table because the market just kept dropping and dropping and dropping. It was an easy downside day. Now, with that, though, going into the end of the week, if we look at the weekly candle just for the market here, we're going to open today up at the lows as of now. We got obviously all of today to work with. So are we going to continue to break lower? Are we going to have a nice wick where we do see short covering? And then we'll see what happens going into next week. We got to figure that part out. That part we have no idea on. So I want to go over a couple of the trades that we did have from yesterday. Now, remember, we had some good shorts. The SMCI trade. I covered my short on this just earlier. I was in this from 34.91. And here I'll go over basically what happened on this trade. Just for students like Joyce, Lawrence, Margaret, if you were with us yesterday, you know that we were calling this out pretty early on. It was from our side list, pardon me. But this stock ended up breaking down below big support early on yesterday morning, in like 260,000 share order on the bid. And as soon as it kept retesting it, that was the trigger for us to go short and just allowed us to ride it most of the way down. So this was my bread and butter yesterday. Between that and then the not that yet, we'll get to that next. The Target trade. Target was also a nice little short. Now this one was coming off bad earnings from even the day before that. So it's to say that we don't trade the news. Well, yeah, I mean, hey, if a stock moved off of news and we remember it the next day, hey, that's a good incentive to try and focus on it if there's good direction, if we're going to see lower highs, lower lows type deal. So Target still remains a good short. I'm still in it right now from 86.50s, but for the time being, we'll see what happens. I'll probably cover it going into the open at some point. But either way, this is not a stock that we normally trade. Stock has like really tiny bars out there, tiny little spots that show signs of inactivity. So just kind of flavor of the week type deal. It's not one that I'm as gung-ho about as I would be about like an SMCI, or obviously we can go into like a name brand like NVIDIA, CoreWeave, all ended up wiping out the early gains that they had because most of the market Wednesday night ended up popping with the NVIDIA earnings. But the entire market wiped all those gains out with the NVIDIA earnings after the market opened up at least. So NVIDIA pulled back down below that 184 level. And actually, even now at this point, that 180, it looks like it's going to look to break below that and look to try and go lower now. So going into the open, a lot of these larger cap name brand stocks, we'll come to them if we need to. MicroStrategy, once again, another big short on that yesterday. That's been getting beat up beyond belief. So that one was pretty good for us. A stock on the upside, a stock that did really well on the upside, contrary to what the market was doing altogether yesterday. Walmart, right? Walmart had a huge beat in earnings and had a big slingshot afterwards. Had a little dip initially, but nice slingshot afterwards. And they're not necessarily at all-time highs yet, but they're getting a little closer. They moved up towards where we called out resistance here, this loose rounded top. kind of a pop and drop here, but otherwise nice rounded pattern here and ran right back into it, generally speaking. So, going into the open today, again, similar with the Walmart trade. I can put this on our watch list. It's not just the day trading watch list, but it's also the swing trading watch list. Walmart would be a great swing trading. So, we'll get to this just at the end. What we'll just do though from here is go from top to bottom. We had a couple other good moves that we did catch. The SGBX for a while it lasted. The EPSM trade for a while that lasted. We'll get to those here in just a bit too. So let's just start right from the top though. See if there's anything like fresh moving up over 100% or maybe on its way. This cheap thing here, IVDA, started off this morning at 65 pennies. Now it's over $1. So it popped up on our scanner, the IVDA. Well, it pops up on the rest of Gen Pop's scanners, and Gen Pop means general population, right? Like the rest of the common folk out there in terms of retail traders. So not everyone's scanning for stocks below $1 because really, if you scan for below $1, a lot of the times you're going to find stocks that are like 2 pennies, 3 pennies. That's just garbage. And most of these stocks below $1, quite frankly, are garbage. But once they pop back up, once they're over $1, news comes out, then it appears on way more people's scanners. That could lead to a better move. So, you know what, IVDA right now, either way, we're just going to put this on our list to start. Got like 18 screens up here, folks. We got some housekeeping to attend to at the end of this meeting. If you're on social media, you definitely don't want to miss that. So stay tuned here just in a little bit here, in about 5 or so minutes as we wrap this meeting up. But NVRI kind of flat, looks like a buyout right now. This thing doesn't seem to be going anywhere right now. MNDR seems to be going somewhere, just not up. Yesterday in the late afternoon had one squeeze, but it's only been pulling back since. And it was a stock from yesterday morning early on that just was a dud. It just kind of popped at first and then just pulled back. Took hours and hours and hours of our time to try and see if maybe this can go. Thankfully, it did. Thankfully, it did go going into the afternoon. But now at this point, what's the trend again? I know it's up percentage-wise, but this trend's clean going down. So even right now, I want to focus on trends that are clean going up. Gap, I guess that's kind of going up for the time being, right? Normally we don't trade gap unless if it's really strong off of earnings or news. So if that's earnings, it's not really as good as we've seen it. Percentage doesn't mean as much comparative to just relative trend and strength of the move that you're seeing. So, if a stock is up 60%, but it's a buyout, we ain't trading that, right? Now, SGBX, this was one from yesterday. It doesn't look like it's a good move because of what happened afterwards, but quite frankly, it's been one from this entire week, this whole week, back from Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So just kept going up, up, up. But the issue on this stock, and we've been calling it out as such, it is a low float stock. 5.65 million share float. I don't know how much volume the stock was trading yesterday, like 88 million. The day before that, 116 million. That's insane. You know that bubble's going to burst eventually, right? And for our students here inside our live trading room, reversal time's around 10:15, 10:30 in the morning, right? Right? It's like a Christmas tree. It's like Christmas came early, just missing a gold star on top here, pretty much. Just, it's a little lopsided, I guess, too. But otherwise, I think I think you catch the drift here. So going into the open, it's up a little bit here today, but you don't want to expect lightning to strike again to have this just go perfectly all the way up. Focus on the recent trend that this has made. So it's done. This thing is cooked. All right, now just rounding out the rest of the gainer side, quite frankly, not really as much on the gainer side here. I guess as I just do round two right now, maybe a couple more popping up now. The EPSM from yesterday, EPSM. This was the stock that had like 22 red candles out of 24. It's like a crazy statistic there. I don't think my favorite sports team right now can go 22 out of 24 losses. That's horrific. So to have this 22 out of 24 red days, we were focused on it back from Tuesday of this week and popped up a little bit then. Thankfully, it did continue, and it's up again like another 6.5%. Still kind of holding higher lows. So I like it. I like it. We'll put it back on our list for the time being. See if there's one more last squeeze going into the end of the week there. All right, some more inverse ETFs or ETFs otherwise at least. ASTS specifically is up about 5.3% this morning. Check if there's any news out on it. either way, on a morning where there's slim pickings from the gainer side, we'll probably put this on there. Yeah, there's some news. AST Space Mobile announces Blue Bird 6 launch date. I guess one of their uh, flights into low Earth orbit. So nice little move up so far in the pre-market. There's news out on it. We'll take it. We'll take it. We'll put it on our list. All right, let's hop over to the loser side though. Seeing if there's anything looking just as good, if not better. And again, if you're on social media, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, etc., out there, again, let me know if there's anything that you want me to check out before we finish up. Some housekeeping notes too to wrap up as well. So first, just make sure to follow and subscribe down below at CyberTradingU on YouTube and on Facebook and on Twitter and X and etc. All right, but otherwise, let's rip through our loser side here pretty quick. Crypto took a huge hit, so we'll get to that also. But SOLT is an ETF. It's down a lot this morning. A lot of these are down a lot this morning. I mean, in this case, it wouldn't hurt to kind of add the MSTR because of how bad Bitcoin's been getting beat up, and this only continues to drop off. So, that could be an interesting thought. MSTU. Wow, this dropped all the way down to $1. Holy smokes. Woo. Jeez. All right. So you know what? For the time being, in hopes of maybe a potential dead cat bounce, we'll add it. But hey, if it keeps dropping, then focus on that downtrend. Lawrence, when you log back inside the room, you should always be able to upload your picture there. For all of us there, you should always be able to upload your picture anytime you press log in there. But let me know if there's anything else that you would want me to check out before we wrap up. Lawrence, latest, Steve, Michael, Margaret, all of us here. Check out Benzinga Pro myself, the NVRI stock. This is too flat. Too flat. The MNDR trade, it is not flat. That is steady down as we had brought up before. So, I'll put it on our list because technically it's up 27%. So maybe it could be the shiny object in the room. But focus on the trend. It's so easy to see. This is just straight down. So there's no buying opportunity on this at all yet. We'll put it on our list, but there's no buying opportunity at all just yet. All right. Anything else though, folks? Not even as much that's down percentage-wise. I'll just show you what I'm using to scan with. Benzinga Pro, MSTR, AHR. They're not down that much though percentage-wise this morning, I'm saying. So that's pretty much all we got here, folks. That's it. All right. Can we look at ONDS, asks Teresa. Yes, we can. And in fact, we were calling ONDS out earlier today, too, so in pre-market. So I appreciate you kind of bringing that back up, Teresa. Yeah, I didn't find it because it wasn't up that magical 5% that we look for. But you know what, though? It's positive. It's a stock that we've been trading for a little while. So in hopes of the market moving upward, wouldn't hurt to put this on our list. Let me just run the gainer side one last time. And what I'll do is I'll actually have it at like 3%, I guess. See if there's anything a shade below 5, like the ONDS here, that maybe I'm missing out on, right? So ONDS, give me a second here. I got an alarm setting off right now, pardon me. ONDS looking pretty good. That's pretty much all we got. No other tickers. Maybe Tesla's ETF is up 3%, which means TSLA is only positive 1.5. So that's all right. But ONDS up a little more. I guess I'll add it for the time being, right? But that's it. I mean, that's pretty much it, folks. We got a dry Friday morning here to work with. Now, otherwise, on social media, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, etc. A couple of things here. Just first and foremost, we have a huge event lined up today. It was supposed to be yesterday, but we rescheduled. So it is today, coming up at 12 Eastern. We have Fausto with an open house webinar discussing swing trading, day trading, but he's going to hone in on some of the most popular stocks that you are in, that we are in collectively as a team here. NVIDIA, Google, Tesla, among others, but showing you how to follow those big orders out there on level 3 as well as on level 4. So that'll be at 12 Eastern later on this afternoon. Make sure to click the link right there. It's in the chat right there if you're live. If you're on social right there, you can just go right to the link ctu.co/free. Otherwise, you can scan the QR code. Fancy with your phone, fancy with your camera. ctu.co/free. Scan that QR code there. That'll be at 12 Eastern though, coming on up. This is the web page right there. So when you click that link, it will take you directly to this landing page. Just fill out your information, and then you're all registered. You're all set. That'll be at 12 Eastern today. Now, with that, though, we brought this up just yesterday. And just as a quick friendly reminder for all of our students and members alike, we just launched this, I think, yesterday, too, as we wrap up. So going into next week, we launched our Black Friday, Cyber Monday deals. It's kind of weird that like everyone nowadays does it like a month in advance. So we didn't want to push it out too far in advance going into the end of October, early November, like some other people do. But otherwise, though, check this out though. We have big offerings on all of our courses, products, etc. Coaching, even the phase 3, our in-person trader summit event. We even do IT support, IT tech support there with my guy Rich. So for any of our students and members, at least, that's on the website all throughout the week there. So if you didn't check it out yesterday, just make sure to go to it, c2.co right there. And it's on the homepage pretty much immediately once you see it right there, right? All right, folks. But with that said, we're going to get going. We got the market open in just about 13 or so minutes. So, hey, again, if you're on social media, make sure to join us coming on up at noon Eastern today. Scan the QR code there. And if you're on your phone, just check the link right there in the chat, c2.co/free. All right, folks, we look forward to seeing you there for all of our students right now. Again, we'll catch back to you in just a bit, just right at 9:30. We'll continue our audio broadcast. I think Fausto will be back on. He'll probably be jumping in, if not right at the opening bell, and probably just a little bit afterwards. I know he's at his desk. He's just on a couple phone calls right now, and he'll be going with us here just in a little while. All right, folks, talk to you soon.